Tonight on KGW News, attacked while trying to stop a shoplifter.
Then he just catch me and he start beating me up.
The family business that says constant crime is making it a struggle to stay open. Plus,
I'm Catherine Cook in Gresham, where police say thieves stole everything a local business owner had worked for since he was 12.
Truck and trailer was gone. I knew the amount of tools that were inside, and I practically fell to my knees at that point.
Then victory in court for a former Timbers goalie who took on the doctor he says ruined his career.
I'm never going to be the human that I was, and it was because of a doctor who cut corners.
And later, lawmakers float adding a fee every time you get behind the wheel. Why those with the most fuel-efficient vehicles could be hit hardest. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. First tonight, victory for a former Timbers player who sued a team doctor for medical malpractice, with a Multnomah County jury today awarding him more than $20 million. Alma McCarty spoke with him and his lawyer following that decision. Alma?
Yeah, well, David, this has been an emotional and difficult 3 weeks following a long 6.5 years for Jake Gleason after a surgery his lawyers argue was botched and ended his soccer career.
It's a day I'll never forget.
After years on the pitch at Providence Park, Jake Gleason's dream career to be an athlete and play professional soccer ended abruptly.
I started this journey when I was 10 years old, and it was taken away from me because a doctor cut corners.
He expected to be out for just a couple of months following a surgery to repair bilateral tibial stress fractures. But the operation, performed by Dr. Richard Edelson, a club physician, led to infection, to 14 additional surgeries, and to debilitating pain.
Candidly, I think I could still be playing. As a kid, all I wanted to do was be an athlete, and he's taken that away from me, and he's taken away my physical attributes to do a lot of things, and I never got a choice. He never asked me.
Now, 6.5 years later, a Multnomah County jury awarded Gleason more than $20 million in damages after he sued Edelson for medical malpractice.
The community has spoken. What happened in that operating room was not okay.
His attorneys argued the metal plate implanted into his leg wasn't properly sterilized, and that the doctor not only used a flash sterilization method, but he didn't tell Gleason that he did.
Instead of going through their normal 15 steps of cleaning it before they put it in, it's only putting it in the machine after a couple minutes of hand washing. That's it. And the difference is you're taking something out that's hot and wet, putting it into the OR, and you're allowing all the microorganisms to wick onto it. And that's what happened here.
During the 3-week trial, the defense argued that this type of sterilization is safe and effective. But the jury ultimately sided with the former goalie.
If they have a time machine, I'll happily take that over any amount of money that they offer. And I truly believe that if I could go back to that day to not go into that surgery, to have one more chance to play in front of the Timbers Army, I would take the time machine.
Gleason expressed his deep gratitude for the jury's decision and told me eventually he'd like to re-engage with the Timbers Army, go back to Providence Park as a fan. David?
Yeah, he would take the time machine in lieu of everything else. Thanks, Alma. I appreciate reporting tonight. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now. Bystanders helped stop a driver deputies say hit another car while speeding down Highway 99 in Hazeldale yesterday afternoon. 56-year-old Kimberly Butler, who was in the other car, was killed in the crash. Clark County Sheriff's deputies say the suspect tried to run from the scene, but more than 20 bystanders were there to stop him. That driver, Diego Quintana, they say is charged with vehicular homicide and hit and run. Detectives released these pictures of passengers in his car. They are trying to identify and are asking any other witnesses to please come forward. In Northeast Portland, an employee at a family-run convenience store is recovering after he was hurt trying to stop a suspected thief. This happened Monday night at the On Mart on Northeast MLK and Fremont. Surveillance video shows the suspect throwing stuff at the employee after the worker said he caught him trying to shoplift. Then, as he confronts the suspect here at the door, the two get into a physical fight. The worker says the suspect had a knife and cut him several times.
He have something sharp like pocket knife or something, which is he hurt me here, and on my forehead. Some people, they came after night, especially some people they are drunk already, and sometimes people they are high. They don't know what they are doing, they don't know what they are saying.
Employees say incidents like this have been far too common. At one point, they tried to keep the store open 24 hours, but had to cut hours back because it just was not safe. And the head of a Portland burglary ring suspected of breaking into more than 100 businesses will now spend 9 years in jail. Joshua Lucero accepted a plea deal admitting to dozens of the burglaries, including at restaurants like Baby Doll Pizza and Grassa. The series of break-ins started in July of last year and continued through December. Security cameras recorded Lucero and others using a crowbar, bolt cutters, and saws, all to break in and steal safes, causing thousands of dollars in damage. Well, now to a look outside on this Friday night as we head into the last weekend of March. 48 degrees right now. Celine Stevens is in for Matt. Celine, we saw the odd downpour today, so what's on tap for the weekend?
Well, we're going to be seeing scattered showers tomorrow, and then we do get a little bit of a dry patch, so that's always a good thing. Taking a look right now at the Pioneer Park building, 48 degrees. We're seeing those winds coming out of the southeast at 6 miles per hour right now. Nice and dry compared to what we were seeing just a couple of hours ago. And taking a look at that radar, you can see the rain moved through our area again earlier this afternoon and even a bit later into the evening hours, but it's pretty much calmed down now, although we will see that rain come back in just a couple of hours. But first, taking a look at rainfall totals today at the airport, looks like a little over 1/4 of an inch here in Portland, just a bit over 1/10 of an inch in Hillsborough. Along the coast, seeing a lot more rain in those areas, 7/10 of an inch in Astoria, a bit over 1/2 an inch in Newport. But here in downtown, we did see a bit more, closer to 4/10 of an inch of rain today. But again, this all changes as we get into Saturday. But first, taking a look at temperatures across the map. 44 in Aurora, lots of 40s right now. We're looking at 44 in Hillsborough, and along the coast, temperatures also in the 40s. We're seeing 46 in Tillamook, 46 as well in Newport. Temperatures just trending down. We're not going to be seeing 80s or 70s anytime soon. But taking a look at our futurecast, so here we go. We're going to have the rain moving in early morning hours. So it looks like by around 4 a.m. here's that rainfall. The mountain snow, of course, nothing too significant. And then as we get into the rest of Saturday, some scattered showers around noon. And after that, we get a little bit of a dry spell, at least until we get to Sunday afternoon. And then here comes the next push of moisture. And that's going to lead us into a very wet week. But we'll talk more about that coming up in a bit. David?
Sounds like a lot of rain and a little bit of sunshine. Okay, Celine, we'll see you in a few. Developing tonight in Southeast Asia, the death toll from a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Myanmar has jumped to nearly 700 people, with hundreds more hurt and those numbers expected to rise. The shaking brought buildings, including one under construction in the Thai capital, Bangkok, down in just an instant. Officials in Myanmar, which is controlled by its military, are now pleading for international help as rescue teams now race to find survivors. Janice Mackey-Fryer has more.
Tonight, moments of terror as the earth shook. Crumbling buildings reduced to dust and rubble, sending people fleeing for their lives. The 7.7 magnitude earthquake striking the heart of Myanmar and felt as far away as Bangkok, Thailand, where this building's swimming pool turned into a waterfall spilling onto the street. At the top of this building, this woman from Atlanta,
I'm scared right now,
fearing for her life. Inside Myanmar, a state of emergency and the death toll expected to rise as survivors rush the injured to hospitals, people digging through the rubble with their bare hands. The damage catastrophic to roads, bridges, and homes. Families seeking refuge at Mandalay's airport, terrified that more aftershocks would hit. The full scale of the earthquake is still unclear, though experts fear economic loss in the billions of dollars. In Bangkok, emergency workers are getting help from Thailand's army after a 33-story building under construction collapsed in a cloud of dust, trapping dozens of workers in the debris. The nearby Siriraj hospital was forced to evacuate patients. Shivani Dayal is an American medical student working there.
A lot of chaos, uncertainty, and fear.
Patients are being treated under a highway overpass with temperatures hitting 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
I was concerned that even though I was outside, that the whole, 10-story plus building might collapse and that I might still be crushed by it.
The rescue operation continues into the night. This woman waiting for her niece, who's 23 years old and missing. She's the hope of her parents, she said. I never thought something like this could happen. A desperate mission here and the chance of finding survivors fading. Janice Mackey-Freyer, NBC News, Beijing.
And as we came on the air here in the last few minutes, the government in Myanmar saying 1,000 people now confirmed dead, 2,300 injured. Those numbers, of course, expected to rise. If you're looking for a way to help, Portland-based Mercy Corps already had a team in Myanmar before the quake, and they are collecting funds. Head to mercycorps.org if you'd like to donate or learn more. A spokesperson says the quake hit in an area where many displaced people were already sheltering from long simmering conflict and economic hardship. New tonight in the Northwest, a young business owner in Gresham is struggling after someone stole his truck and trailer along with the tools he needs to do his job. Catherine Cook shows us how authorities and his community have already helped.
This is where it all started for Aaron Martinez.
I was 12 years old.
A kid with a dream of owning his own lawn care business. He bought his own used tools and worked out of his mom's little white sedan.
I just started working my way up from there.
8 years later, his dream is now his job. Aaron owns Meadowlark Property and Land Management. On Monday morning, he woke up to the kind of grown-up problem no one deserves. Someone had hot-wired his truck parked out on Northeast 5th and Cleveland in Gresham.
Truck and trailer was gone. I knew the amount of tools that were inside, and I practically fell to my knees at that point.
Aaron says the truck and trailer were filled with expensive tools that Aaron needs for his jobs. Ryobi saws, a carpenter drill, roofing shoes, and all sorts of lawn care equipment.
Just the fact that I've worked so hard and so long just for these things to be taken, it sucks.
Aaron filed a police report and that night got some good news. Police found Aaron's truck about 5 minutes from here, ditched near a neighborhood Walmart, but his trailer and tools weren't with it.
If he could get his trailer back, that would just be great.
For Gresham police officer Jerem Swayze, this case is personal. He remembers Aaron as a student at Centennial High School. Swayze was a school resource officer back then and talked with all the kids.
And I remember Aaron talking about working when he got out of high school and just getting started. I think it's great that he's out there starting his own business. He's an entrepreneur.
A business Aaron's focused on keeping afloat without the tools he needs.
And now it's just all gone.
Aaron started a GoFundMe, hoping to raise money for a new trailer and tools. He's grateful for all the support.
I haven't felt like the sense of community ever, I don't think.
But just wants to get back to his dream job, earning an honest living.
Maybe consider hiring us for some work. I would honestly prefer that over donations. So this is open already.
In Gresham, Catherine Cook, KGW News.